G'day, it's Jerry here. I recently bought a bunch of cheap portable battery operated soldering irons off AliExpress and I wanted to test them. And I'm going to start with the cheapest one I could find, which I'm not even sure is actually a real soldering iron. It looks like it was actually intended for a completely different purpose. I paid about $5 for this, and then I had to pay another $4 to buy some tips for the soldering iron. So it comes in at around about $10. And believe it or not, at $10, there's more than one soldering iron that you can purchase. Anyway, today's video is all about this one, the VERTEX. So in this video, we're going to be testing it out, pulling it apart, and generally having some fun. If you like this sort of thing, think about subscribing to my channel. Let's get straight into it. So we'll start with the packaging. So it's called the VERTEX. It's a 350 milliamp hour battery. It doesn't appear to have a charging port on it, so it has this charging adapter. It says press 5 times for on off, 3 times to adjust voltage, 2 times to preheat. I guess it's got a LED in it, and so when it's green it's 3.4 volts, blue 3.7, red 4. I guess it doesn't have any type of thermal monitoring. It's probably just outputting the voltage and it gets as hot as it gets. Let's open this up and see what it looks like. So that's it. A very simple device. So it looks like you can screw things into the bottom there, including this charging adapter. Yeah, and it feels as cheap as it looks. All right, I've had a bit of a play with this device. I managed to figure out basically how it works, and I managed to discharge it. And then I recharged it back up using this device, and it took around about 60 minutes, so an hour, to recharge it from flat. Let me show you how this works control-wise. So it says here, press 5 times for on and off. So you have to press 5 times quite rapidly. So at the moment it's not on, and you can tell it's not on if you press the button and no LED appears, it's off. So if you press it 5 times in a row, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, it starts up. And you know it's on simply because if you press the button once, it shows you that it's on. It might even be providing electricity here. So then it says 3 times to adjust voltage. So 1, 2, 3. So that's gone to red, 1, 2, 3, blue, 1, 2, 3, green. And then 2 times to preheat. I don't think this device started its life as a soldering iron. And as you'll see in a minute, it doesn't behave like a soldering iron. It still behaves like the device it was intended to be, which I'm not mentioning because YouTube apparently doesn't like that. Essentially, to get it to heat up, you press it 2 times and then it will start heating, which we'll go through in a minute. Now we can test this by putting a multimeter on it. So let me just grab that. So on green, we're getting 2.6. On red, we're getting 3.8, 3.89. And on blue, we're getting 3.3. So it's a little bit different from what's advertised. Okay, so I bought these tips separately to this unit, and we got 3 tips. So 2 essentially chisel tips and 1 pointy. And they just appear to be metal tips with obviously an end here that allows you to screw them in. There's nothing too special about it, although this one here seems a little bit bent. But it just screws in like this. And that's it. So I've got my soldering iron thermometer here, which we can try and get a reading for the tip. The problem is that to get an accurate reading, it needs to be a wet tip. So it needs to be melting this. So there's melted solder as it makes contact. Otherwise, it's not going to be as accurate as it should, but it'll give us some idea anyway. And the reason that I say that is this really isn't, it's almost impossible to get this unit to melt solder. Maybe I'm doing something wrong, but you know, from what I've seen so far. So let me just put this into its highest temperature mode. 3, 1, 2, 3, green. We want to get it to red. Yeah, so red. So at the moment, you know, it's not doing anything. Now, if I hold down the button, okay, it should start heating up a little bit. But you see, after a while, it starts blinking, right? And it essentially turns itself off. And so now it's coming back down. So what you can do is you can preheat it, which is 2 clicks, 1, 2. And so now it's in a preheat mode where it's heating itself. But pretty soon it's going to stop. It's going to reach a certain temperature there. Now, if we hold the button down now, we can get it to go a little bit further, but only until it starts flashing again, and then it will turn itself off. There we go. So it's turning itself off. There's a little bit of residual heat in there. And then it's going to start coming down. Yeah, so like I said, this is not designed as a soldering iron, and I'm a bit disappointed because I thought at the very least they would modify the way the controls work so you could get it to the point of melting solder. So yeah, it doesn't work as a soldering iron. So the only way you can get it hot enough is to keep preheating it until it gets hot enough to melt the solder. So if I press it twice, it'll preheat. So it will go up. Okay, so it gets to about 100 degrees. Then if I preheat again, it's going to put some more juice into it, so it's going to keep climbing up. Preheat again. So that's what, 3 preheats. Oh, I turned it off. Hang on. Did I? No. There we go. Another preheat. So there is a bit of solder on this pad, so when it gets hot enough, should see that melt. 1, 2. One, 2. Come on, baby, get hot enough. I just want to show you it soldering. There we go. So there we go. We've reached 189. Now it's coming back down. And yeah, I could keep pressing this button and it would keep getting hotter and hotter until, who knows. But But yeah, I mean, as a soldering iron, that's completely useless. You can't keep doing that just to melt one time, can you? The other thing is I've discovered you can only do that 2 times, 3 times maybe before the thing is completely flat. So yeah, a little bit disappointing. If they had have changed the logic in here so that you just pressed the button and it kept heating up for a certain number of seconds, which is what I think some of the other cheap ones do, then you could have at least soldered, but you're not going to get very long. You're only going to get 30 seconds to a minute at soldering temperature before you run out of battery life. So that's disappointing. Now, I have bought some other soldering irons that I'm going to test, and some of them do look a lot like this, only larger. So hopefully they will be better. But as it stands, this is not a soldering iron. This is a completely different device that someone's managed to create some soldering tips that screw onto. I mean, maybe I've got it wrong. There really aren't too many instructions with this thing, so I've had to work it out just by trial and error. But as far as I'm concerned, this does not deserve to be called a soldering iron. Oh well, at least I don't have to feel bad if I wreck it as I pull it apart to have a look on the inside. That's what we're going to do next. Okay, time to pull these things apart. To be honest with you, I don't think we are going to be able to do this without destroying it. These things look like they are pressed together or glued together. Doesn't matter, I don't want to use this thing. So why don't we try the charger first? Well, I can say it's pressed together pretty well. Let's try the vice grips. Just give it a bit of a crack. See if anything comes loose. Yes, okay. Ooh. Okay. What's going on there? Well, I guess that's the negative side, and it wasn't even soldered onto there. It was it just pressing against there, and it was having the clip hold it in place. Oh, that's dodgy. Okay. There's definitely no solder on that. Yeah, I mean, there's no solder on this wire. It was just pressed against there. Yeah, that's a bit of a worry. Well, there's not much to it. Looks like there is a transistor and some LEDs and resistors. Let me just show you under the microscope so you get a better view. So there you go. There's nothing on the other side. YJX888P. If I can read that upside down. Yeah, so that's a bit how you're doing, isn't it? Look. Now we can have a look at the soldering iron itself. I probably should discharge it as much as I can. I'll come back when I've done that. Okay, so I'm a little bit worried about fire. Trying to get this thing apart. I don't think it's going to come apart easily. So I've got myself a baking tray here in case something bursts into flames. So I'll just give this a go. I don't think it's really possible to get this apart without using brute force. There's just nowhere to get anything in. Okay. Oops. Just wondering whether this screws off. Oh, that just pulled out. There we go. There it is in all its glory. I'll keep the baking tray handy, just in case. Okay, so it looks as though we've got a heating element down in this section here. So it's just down there. Not sure if we can get that out. I'm never going to use this, so I think we might try and just make this a bit safer. One wire at a time. Okay, I feel a bit better about it now. Keep them separate. So what's the battery? So this says it's 350 milliwatts. So the battery is marked 08500.65 watts, is it? Watt hours? I don't know how to read that. So this is a LiPo battery. It doesn't look like it's got any charging circuitry on it. So, you know, on its own, you need to be very careful about overcharging or over discharging can cause a problem. So what else have we got here? And so this is the push button. Looks like we've got two LEDs. What else? Bit of plastic there. Okay, so we've got some sort of IC there and what looks to be a transistor over here, leading to this heating element over here. Just wonder whether we can get that heating element out. I wonder how that's held in place. We can play around with this a bit now that we've got the power disconnected. Why don't I just try pulling it out? So we'll disconnect it from here. Oops, what did I do? Ah, I just pulled off the solder. Ah, so it pushes out that way. So what do we got here? Okay, so that looks to be just a piece of metal. Here we go. So there you go. That was the cheapest soldering iron that I could find, and it was a bit disappointing. Yes, it did actually melt solder, but you had to manually hold down the button. You had to act as the PWM controller yourself in order to maintain the heat. So yeah, not terribly impressed, but I wasn't expecting too much. I hope that the next one that I look at is going to be better, but I have to tell you, just looking at it, it looks like more of the same, only a larger unit. But maybe they've changed the controller in it so it actually does continuously maintain the voltage. I don't know. We'll find out in the next video, I guess. If you like this sort of stuff, think about subscribing to the channel, and I'll catch you on the next video. Ciao.